Greetings, YouTube. So, the name of this video is titled, How Did We Get Here? Greetings, lifers. So this is going to be a bit of an interesting video today because this is actually going to be a reaction video because an anti-MLMer by the name of Laura, she formed a strange obsession with me and she's been making multiple videos about me. She's on video number 3 about me. So I said, well, who is this chick? I don't know her. Why is she making me the topic of all of her videos? So I decided to do a little bit of digging. And when I found out, the first thing that stood out to me is that she's bipolar. So this is due to her own admittance. She said on one of her channels or somebody else's channels that she was bipolar. So me being a network marketer, one of my things that I do is I study people and I study their behaviors. So one of the things that I looked up, I was like, well, if this woman is bipolar, that may be explaining some of the behavior that she's displaying in her channel, which includes delusion, false belief of superiority, agitated, guilt, hopelessness, and crying. So I seen from some of her social media pages that she has frequently displayed this victim mentality or this mentality of feeling like people are either attacking her or that someone was mean to her. So because I am pro MLM and she's anti-MLM, she probably feels that I am attacking her, reason why she feels the need to continue to make videos about me. So with that being said, let's have a look at what Miss Laura had to say about Ibuumerang.
We're also going to be discussing in this video the kind of incestuous relationship a lot of MLMers have and how the tippy toppies get to the top without really doing much work. It's just kind of like a big incestuous bubble of jumping ship, who you know, who don't you know, how many you know, and that's that.
Lady, what the heck are you talking about? Incestuous relationships that we all have with each other. So this is how you know someone does not know how to build a network marketing company, because the only way to get to the top of a network marketing company is that you build it. Now, I can speak on that because you've seen in her video that I earned the Rock Solid Award, which means that I am competent in building large organizations and I'm competent in being able to keep my ranking over a consecutive time period, which happened to be 12 months, which is why I got that award, as well as being able to develop and grow people to where they stay in your organization. And guess what? That's hard work. So she's incorrect. She's just speaking incorrect about what goes on in network marketing companies, and it's because she was unsuccessful with building her organization. I think she only had like 24 people that she was able to recruit and unique before she failed out of that. So that is why she would feel that way, is because she's never done it before. Okay, so now that that's all out of the way, let's see what other lies and misconceptions she had to say about Ibuumerang.
So, what is Ibuumerang? Ibuumerang originally was named Countdown for Freedom but later launched as Ibuumerang. This company provides travel discounts from their search engine called iGo. So as always, travel MLMs.
Okay, so let's stop right there. I'm too tickled by the fact that she keeps calling Ibuumerang a travel company or a travel MLM. Laura, your information is once again incorrect. Ibuumerang is not a travel company. nor is it a travel MLM. What it actually is, it is a logistics and technology company. It is not a travel company. So I was too tickled by all of your comments and your followers' comments talking about how I'm angry because I'm in a travel MLM during a pandemic. Okay, so let's see what else Miss Laura had to say about me. So in this comment that she made, she says that, well, my theory is that she won't say her MLM company because she's unsuccessful and she's a liar. She's lying about being successful in MLMs. But then she goes ahead and makes a video with me in it, running a complete commercial of me being successful in MLM. So for those of you who don't know, if you are a Sapphire in Ibuumerang, that means that you and your team does anywhere between $15,000 and $39,000 in volume every single month. And the fact that I got the Rock Solid Award, that indicates that I've been able to do that consecutively, month after month after month after month. And then also, if you want to look up that position, you'll see that a Sapphire in the company makes up to $3,000 every single week. So what are you talking about, Miss Laura? And do you ever get tired of being wrong? Aww. Okay, so let's see what else Laura got wrong about Ibuumerang. This has been a great video, Laura. Thank you so much for doing this video, because I was cracking up watching it because it was so much either completely useless or incorrect information in it. But do continue.
Some people like to call an MLM pyramid scheme, but that's not necessarily true. Some definitely are, as we'll see in a minute, and the CEO of Ibuumerang has been involved in pyramid schemes in the past. We'll get back onto that. Part of your commissions for Ibuumerang looks like the picture above and is why there are similarities to a pyramid scheme. So Ibuumerang use the binary compensation plan. So if you would like a really in-depth
Okay, so this video that she made is the whole reason why I've been posting anti-MLM videos on my channel, is because anti-MLMers seem to think that all network marketing companies do things one way. And that is where they wind up putting their foots in their mouths and not knowing what they're talking about. So you heard her say in that video that Ibuumerang uses a binary compensation plan, which we do. However, we also have a uni-level compensation plan as well on top of the binary compensation plan, because our CEO is a freaking genius. So let's see what else Miss Laura was wrong about in our video. And I think I'll have a Triscuit in honor of my English mate.
So basically what it involves is, wow, they say it involves, but let's face it, it's all about the recruiting as always, is you are selling discounted holidays to people and your commission will get from that. The thing is, if it wasn't bad enough to be in a travel MLM in the middle of a pandemic, if that wasn't bad enough, can you imagine trying to do it with those type of prices? Holy wowzer.
Okay, Laura, so you spent a lot of time in your video trying to convince people that travel is such a bad idea during a pandemic. Well, I have a couple of stats for you, and first and foremost, people are definitely still traveling during a pandemic, and you may not have seen it on your news feed either because you are friends with people who are just as scary, paranoid, and pessimistic as you are, or because another reason, people are afraid of being travel shamed because they still want to travel during a pandemic. They have been doing it. They have just not been posting it. And also, despite what you would like your viewers to believe, in your little video, numbers don't lie. And travel continued to surge in July and August, even during a pandemic, mate. People were still traveling. They were still going on holiday, even during a pandemic. And have a look at this. This article says that 700,000 passengers per day were traveling. So are numbers a little bit down because of the pandemic? Yes. But did people completely stop traveling? Is everyone locked away in their homes because of the doom and gloom that the pessimistic people like to preach? No, girl. People are still out there traveling, but you wouldn't know that because you stuck at home with 4 kids. So if you didn't have those 4 kids stuck and you were stuck at home, you'd probably be out there traveling too. However, if you want a customer website, just say it, sis. I'll send you one. I'll send you a customer website so that you can afford to travel with your family. And it actually looks to me like maybe you didn't marry a provider and you guys are all stuck at home during the pandemic and you think everybody else is, when that isn't the case. Okay, so let's see what else Miss Laura got wrong. Anybody want any Triscuits, by the way?
He owned a cryptocurrency MLM. Think Bitcoin. Okay, it was called IQ Chain, later rebranded IQ Legacy. So basically, he was in charge of recruiting everyone. Guess what happened to that?
What happened, girl?
Take a wild guess. Throw it out into the open. That one got accused of being a Ponzi scheme as well. So he has an extremely colourful past, doesn't he? Doesn't he? Very colourful past. I mean, he seems such a lovely man, doesn't he? Really nice guy to be involved with.
Okay, so let's dig deeper into Miss Laura's past. We all know that Miss Laura used to be involved with Unique, which she now claims is a pyramid scheme. It was the worst moment of her life and everything about it was just horrible, and her mentors and her upline was mean to her. She was bullied into joining in the first place. They made her cry. They told her that she wasn't promoting the business right, and she still recruited at least 24 people into Unique business, even though she was being bullied and things didn't look right to her. And now she's just flat out enlightened and has been calling her former company out as a pyramid scheme and all of this stuff. So this is where thinking outside of the box comes into play. So I know you think that bringing up Holton Buggs' past just says, oh, he's a horrible person, a horrible businessman, he's a scammer. But you were just doing the exact same thing, Laura. Were you not in an MLM company that you believed in, and then once you found out it was corrupt, you left? Because that's the exact same thing that Holton Buggs did. Yes, he was involved in those companies, and once he found out that they were corrupt, he left. And not only did he leave, see, here's the difference between winners and whiners. This is why I made my previous video, the top 10 distinctions between winners and whiners, is because Laura, you and Holton both experienced you both had bad experiences in network marketing. And as a whiner, you decided to take to YouTube and bash Unique, bash your upline, and bash everybody else at all MLM companies because your one MLM company did you wrong. So you think all MLM companies are horrible. That is what a whiner would do. That is what someone who is not mentally mature would do. Then you have somebody like a Holton Buggs. He experienced the exact same things that you did in MLM. However, because he had the financial means to do so and the mental maturity to do so, as well as the level of competency to do so, Instead of taking to YouTube to bash YTB and to bash IQ Chain and to bash Organo Gold, he became what he wanted to see in the industry, and that is why he created Ibuumerang, and that is why your video is increasingly, ridiculously silly. And then you actually had the nerve to say you were going to make more. Well, I can't wait to see them, because I'm sure those are going to be a bunch of BS as well. And I'm sure all of your facts are going to be wrong in those videos as well. So just to kind of recap what we just talked about, winners become what they want to see. Whiners build YouTube channels bashing what happened to them. Congratulations, Laura. You're a whiner. Okay, let's see what she has to say next.
That's why they won't want you to know where they are, because it all leads back to him. And of course, they don't want people to find out about him, do they? No, they don't. Do you know why they don't? Because they're not going to join the team. And we all know the only way people make money in MLMs is recruiting.
So basically, we have some entitlement issues here. So Miss Laura says that we don't like telling people what company we're in because it's going to be traced back to Holton Bugs and then no one will join. Meanwhile, when the company launched, 44,000 people joined the first week because it was Holton Bugs. So that is yet another lie this woman has told. And secondly, I've also sensed a sense of entitlement with her, because she said that I didn't want to say what company I was with because I was tied to Holton Bugs, when the reality of it is I was not making my channel about recruiting for Ibuumerang. My channel was about being anti-MLM and getting the truth out. So there was no need for me to even talk about or mention my company. So that's why I didn't mention my company. It's not because I didn't want anybody to know where I was. I don't care. I've gotten more people by telling them, hey, I'm with HB, than not. So his name holds a lot of weight in the network marketing industry because he's a freaking guru in the business and people love his mentorship. Even people who's not in the same company with us are watching his training videos to learn how to work their business. So it's just yet more lies, Laura. Get your story straight. And then you sat there and said the only way that people can make money and MLMs is to recruit. You need help. That's all I can come to the conclusion of at this point, is you need help. And if you actually took the time to understand what you're bashing, you would know that this company was created specifically to help people rank advance, as well to make a pretty good income without recruiting. And that is why we have 1 million customers that are doing business with us. Not reps, customers, meaning people who are outside of Ibuumerang. We have over 1 million customers. Explain that to your audience, Laura, if we're all about recruiting. Why do we have over 1 million customers? Oh, you were wrong again.
Spoke about this before. Leaders will see the trouble brewing up top before the lower downs will. We've just witnessed it in Unique as well, when the pyramid begins to implode. Okay? The pyramid begins to implode. What happens? The leaders and the well-connected people, they all rush together and they follow where people go. Oh, you're going here. Well, we're getting there. This is going to be the new opportunity. We're going to run away. And also what they do is they have this opportunity, of course, because, oh, that word again, opportunity to make your life a misery. and make others' life a misery while you do it, what happens is, see, they already have these huge downlines. So they already have loads and loads and loads of people to already take with them. So often they jump from MLM to MLM with all pre-made teams, and that's how they shoot up the top so quickly. And this is a classic example of what's happened here.
So at this point of the video, I don't even know if she's talking about me or if she's talking about HB, because I was never in YTB and I've never had the opportunity to jump from one company to the next company to the next company and bring my downline with me. So I was brand new in the industry. I started out from scratch and I built my team. I did the work and I built my team, and I built a rock solid team at that. So what are you talking about, lady?
So anything to do with this guy, you want to run a bloomin' mile, and anybody with the internet can see this, and this is why they don't want you to look into this, because they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to recruit anyone. Not that you could anyway, being in a travel-based MLM in the middle of a pandemic. So this is why they're so aggressive and so mean and so nasty, is because can you imagine how much trouble they are in? Not only because no one can travel anywhere, but also, you know, they know their pyramid is going to collapse. They're well aware of it. So now what they need to do is they need to distance themselves away from that one to keep, you know, to try and keep their reputation intact.
So you've heard it for yourself what she had to say, and I don't know if I'm surprised or if I'm tickled by the amount of ignorance that was in her video, because she keeps saying that we're all panicked because we're in a travel MLM during a pandemic, despite the fact that we're not a travel MLM, despite the fact that people are still traveling anyway. At least rich people are still traveling, and people who don't live in a vacuum of living and breathing the coronavirus, those people are still traveling, Laura. So you may want to stop using absolutes in your videos and say some people may not feel comfortable traveling, because people are definitely traveling and we're definitely not a travel MLM. So just so you sound a little bit more credible and intelligent, you may want to stop using absolutes just to try to reinforce to your audience of how in trouble the industry is. Because it's all lies.
What's really, really common in MLMs is these are commercial cults, and you need to remember this. Okay, so one of the actual things how you can find out if something's a cult is, you know, unfaltering dedication to the leader. This guy, they absolutely worship him. They truly believe he is the best thing since sliced bread. And that is why often when you present facts as an anti-MLM person doing an anti-MLM video, they aren't able to provide any facts or receipts back. If you notice, all they will do is quote these leaders. They will say, oh, he said this, he said that, and they'll quote these books written by the leaders of the MLM. They will never quote a fact. They will never quote a legal document. They will never talk about that side of it. That's why they never have receipts.
Okay, so I'm actually going to be wrapping this video up because hers is just getting flat out pathetic at this point. All of the, I don't know if she realizes it or not, but the book, if she's talking about me, the book that I wrote, the book that I quoted, with the top 10 distinctions between winners and whiners, Keith Cameron Smith is not in the MLM, lady. So that's yet another smoke and mirrors thing that you're saying, telling to your audience just to try to get them to listen to you. You tried really hard in that video to make things seem horrible when I just gave you a bunch of stats and facts in this video. And I would like to know what you're gonna say after it. And sometimes facts are facts because you've seen it happen. Everything doesn't have to be written down. So just because somebody didn't do a whole case study on something doesn't mean that it's incorrect. And just because somebody did do a case study on something doesn't mean that it's relevant or that it's correct. So you have to be able to have an actual brain, and you have to be able to comprehend what you read. And I feel like that's something that's lacking with you and a lot of anti-MLMers. And then just to sit there and say, oh, well, all MLMs are cults. Honey, your channel is a cult. I just completely destroyed you in this video saying how many lies you told. And guess what? Once your crew watches this video and see how many lies you told, they're still going to say, oh, Laura, she's mean. Oh, Laura, she's so disgusting. That's a cult. And that's according to your own logic. Your channel and your followers are a cult. And then you went on and said, oh, well, all anti-MLMers are lying. So they can't never back anything up with stats. So you say all MLMers are losing money. And I come along and say, hey, I'm not losing any money. I was actually able to retire from my job because of MLM. Then guess what y'all say? Oh, well, you just retired because you were scamming people. Yeah. And then I said, no, I actually built an organization and I built people and I trained them. I sat down with them and I put time into training them, properly training them how to work the business. Oh, well, your upline gave you a downline because you was following him. So it doesn't matter if we produce facts to you guys, you're still going to find a way to discredit it. So we've given you plenty of facts, but because of your cognitive dissonance, you can't accept it as the truth because you've already bought the lie.
One, it's commercial cult. Two, as they all are, by the way, I'm not just picking on this one, they're all commercial cults. That's why so many psychologists say this, okay? A lot of people need counselling when they come out of these MLMs, and that is a fact, and you can look it up, okay? You can look all of this up, guys. Like I always say, you don't need to believe me, you don't need to, like me. I just present facts here and give you bits of information that you can go and research yourself.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. You guys have now officially heard both sides. I know she's planning on doing more videos to preach doom and gloom, which she probably can't even comprehend exactly what Ibuumerang is. I'm sure she won't be able to comprehend our compensation plan because it's very diverse. And if you're comparing it to Beachbody's compensation plan, that lets me know how far behind the curve you are. That's number one. Number two, her voice is, God, it's so freaking annoying. Like I almost got a headache listening to her. So her voice is very annoying and it's so dramatic and just depressing, and I don't know how she's growing her channel because she talks like this, and I don't know how people listen to her because this is how she sounds. And just so you know, you use so many absolutes when you speak, Laura, that really discredits you because you deemed all MLMs as scams and you didn't even know about Ibuumerang. You don't even know about half the MLMs out there, and you're condemning them and using absolutes. And you're condemning all 43 million people. Now, any sane person, any person in their right mind would know that it is impossible to categorize over 3,000 companies with over 43 million distributors. So how is it even mathematically possible that all 43 plus million people in MLMs are scammers? And you were one of them too. So that would technically mean that you're a scammer as well. And just because you left doesn't mean your behavior changed. So you really need to watch out how you're labeling people in MLM because you were in MLM too. And you actually seemed a lot more happier and positive when you were in your MLM. Now you just seem depressed, miserable and like you're just ready to die or something, because all you're talking about is negativity. So I'm not even used to listening to people like you. I'm used to people who are productive in life and people who don't dread or dwell on the past like you're doing on your channel. All you're doing is dwelling on the past and taking your past experiences and applying them to other people's futures, when that's horrible leadership. And to your statement that you said that most people who leave MLM companies need counseling, that's just stupid. Now that's just stupid. I don't know what else to say about that one, because I've left 2 MLM companies and I didn't need counseling after I left. So the only way somebody would need counseling is if they went in with some type of pre-existing conditions, such as being bipolar, or such as being depressed, or such as having anxiety. And it's not to talk about those people, but those type of people with different personality disorders, they may be susceptible to things that someone who does not have those disorders, they may just move on with their lives. That's usually what people do when an MLM doesn't work, Laura. They move on with their life. They don't talk about it and keep making videos about it on YouTube. I didn't do it. I moved on with my life. And then I kept trying until I found one that I was happy in. So some people try something once and they quit because they're quitters. And then some people say, you know what, it didn't work this time, but I believe in the industry and I believe in the concept of it. So let me just try it again. So I tried it 3 times and I found a company that I'm really in love with. And I'm sorry if that offends you, but I'm not going anywhere, and neither is Ibuumerang. So you're wasting all of your phone data putting together all of these goofy videos trying to get people to not believe in it, when we're already in 193 different companies. We've already made $50 million in our first year. We've already gotten over a million customers in 18 months. You're not going to stop something like that. We were called to the industry to do this, and our purpose is greater than your complaints. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and log off, and hopefully you get the help that you need. I would actually like to see you start doing some videos to help other women who may be suffering from bipolar disorder. I think that would be a great way that you can be a blessing to your audience in case any of them are suffering from bipolar disorder like you are. You can do videos of how you overcame it, or how you deal with it when you feel an attack on. You can talk about how supportive your spouse is with it, if he's supportive with it. And then that would be a way more better channel, a way more welcoming channel that, hey, I have this disorder and this is how I overcome it. But you can't even do that. You're completely useless to your audience. And I feel sorry for you. And I also feel sorry for anyone who subscribes to your channel as well as your BS. So thank you for watching. And I don't even know if it's going to be a next one, because you're too negative and annoying for me. But this is what I have with this one. And that's it.